Thank you for joining us and welcome to the first session in the webinar series where we plan to share all about conversational customer engagements in these, again, 3 short presentations over the next 3 weeks. My name is Anna and I'm a product marketing manager at Sinch. And today with me will be James from our partner company Treasure Data. You will hear more about that, about the company and about him a bit later in a minute. And Sunny from Sinch also. However, Sunny is attending an event today, and although we wanted to have him in 2 places at the same time, the technology is still not there to support that idea, so we decided to record part of this webinar and make it a combination of live and recorded session. That way, we can have Sunny and his expertise with us delivered through a recorded part, but we can also have a live Q&A session with James and me. Before I hand it over to Sunny and James to talk about personalized conversations for better customer engagement, I would like to share why we decided to create this webinar series. So first motivation is actually our customers. We saw great results our customers have with conversational marketing, conversational commerce, and digital customer service, and we wanted to give a shout out to them and their success. But also we wanted to use that knowledge and expertise to give the opportunity to everyone who is exploring conversational engagements to take the advantage of our experience and the insights that we actually have by working with our customers and using our products, of course. During these 3 sessions, we will share an end-to-end overview of conversational customer engagements. Today, we are starting with why businesses should invest in personalized conversational experiences. In the next 2 sessions, we will talk about how to choose the right channel for your business and the technology stack that helps you do your job better and easier while having a positive impact on customer experience and bottom line. In today's session, as I said, Sunny and James will give an overview of consumer perspective and their needs. They will talk about what successful businesses are doing and the results they are achieving by integrating conversational messaging in every aspect of customer communication. To do that, they will, of course, use some great examples that we have with our own customers and some research that we did with IDC, but you will hear more about that in a second. Before we start, a few housekeeping items to share with you. So after this session, during the session, ask questions in the question widget. So any question you might have, we will have time at the end to answer them. The webinar is being recorded, and we will send the recording in the follow-up to all of you who are attending the webinar now, and everyone who signed up but maybe couldn't attend because of the different reasons. And after this webinar, we will randomly select 3 attendees who will win Sinch Swag package. So there will be some fun included there. If you are a winner, we will inform you by email after the webinar, as I said. And now I will give a word to James and Sunny.
Thanks, Anna. So hi, I'm James Reisman. I'm Director of Product Marketing at Treasure Data. Treasure Data is the leading enterprise customer data platform, or CDP. And for me personally, I live in foggy San Francisco with my wife, 3 kids, and a dog. Sunny?
Thanks, James. Hi, everyone. I'm Sunny Darming. I look after product marketing for Sinch. Sinch are a global leader in CPaaS and customer engagement solutions. I've worked in technology for many years, and today I'm in a sunny London. So I'm super excited to be here with you all today and talking about personalization and how you can keep your customers engaged. And I think the first question really is, are your customers actually engaged? I think that when we're speaking to businesses and when I'm speaking to marketers, one of the biggest difficulties they have is engaging their customers, their prospects, whenever they're sending out campaigns or content. And actually, when we went out and looked at some research from the market, we found that 51% of people didn't respond to interactions. because they didn't think the content was relevant to them. Now, 51% is a significant number of people when you are out there spending money on contact lists or sending information out to your existing customers, to have slightly over half not respond it's just not great, and there's much better that can be done to improve that. And then what we found is 65% of consumers believe that their favorite brands should be doing a better job at understanding their preferences. If you're a customer of a business and you're giving your data and you're giving your information and you're regularly buying from a business, I think it's fair to expect them to know who you are, know what you've purchased, know what your likes and dislikes are. And obviously the research we found was very similar, with 65% of consumers believing that. But on the flip side, when businesses do get it right, there is a significant improvement in engagement that can be made. So we also found that there was a 25% increase in close rates when content is engaging and there was a strong omni-channel presence. So when you're able to engage your customers and prospects and also reach them on the channel of their choice, there's a significant chance of improving that close rate. And I mean, I'm a marketer, so I'm very, very biased here, but if there's anything I can do out there to increase my close rate by 25%, I'm very interested in finding out more. And the one thing we found here is when we're reaching out to customers, at the moment, we're all reaching out to people on their mobile devices. And the mobile device is probably the one device you take with you pretty much everywhere, apart from probably the shower. Everywhere else, that mobile device is either in your pockets or in your hands. And if you're like me, you have a mild panic attack when it's in a different pocket and you can't find it. So we've got a responsibility when we are being able to reach people in their most personal device. We've got to be able to connect with them as a friend, not just as a business. When people are giving us the right to reach out to them, we have to take that seriously. And I think what you'll find is more and more people are disconnecting with companies and brands that aren't understanding that. If you're sending impersonal, out of context messages, it doesn't work, and people will start to unsubscribe and block those contact references from being able to work. And we have significant gaps in business to consumer communication. I don't think that's a surprise to any of you listening today, because we've been doing the same thing for so long. One-way messages. We go out and we send a one-way piece of comms, expecting people to figure out a way to reach out to us. There may be a CTA in your message. There may be a link to a website. There may be just a direction of who you are as a brand. But then we're expecting people to go out of their way and find you and find the information and then reach out in some other way. It just doesn't happen, right? And that's why we've got so many non-respondents and click-through rates are really low, because one-way comms just isn't working as well as it used to. We're also sending very business-centric messages. We're sending messages that we want to push, messages that we feel are important to us. And as a consumer, we're over getting the same messages at Christmas time, on Black Friday, public holidays. We know every business is going to send us the same boring message. And with that, they're uninspiring. It's plain text, a few images in an email. It just doesn't really gather any interest whatsoever. And on top of that, it's impersonal. It's very transactional and very generic. I could be any one person on a company's mailing list and we'll all get the same offer. It's uninspiring, and we need to do better. And I think what you'll find is modern customer demands expect that as well. So 71% of people want real-time communication. So when you message somebody and you ask for something or you're looking for some support, 71% of people expect that to be real-time. I know I no longer want to wait 5 or 6 days for an email response or for a response to a question. I want that response there and then. 75% of adults want to be able to communicate with a business in the same way they communicate with friends and family. I think that goes back to the point earlier. When we're given access to somebody's personal device, we have to make our communications personal. 42% of consumers are more likely to repeat purchase if a company offers support via live chat. So having that two-way, instant, personalized communication channel available drives a 42% increase in the likelihood to repeat purchase. And once you spend so much money on getting a customer, making sure you've got the tools there for them to be able to reach out to you and have a repeat purchase is just vital. I don't think this next stat should come as a surprise to anyone, but we are omnichannel. We are looking at multiple different channels before we buy and reach out to a business. We browse online, we look at social media, we look at what we want to find, and then we'll go out and reach out to a business. So if we're doing that, we need to shift away from having just SMS to having omnichannel being available for our customers. We move away from one way to driving conversations and delivering an experience. We move away from generic content to full personalization. It's also a shift away from text to rich media, using images, using videos, and then having the ability to drive a call to action for somebody to go to the product that you have picked out for your customers and you have shown in your interaction with them. That will really transform how you connect. And actually, this isn't just a one-off thing that you can do. It impacts the whole customer journey, whether it's conversational marketing through omnichannel campaigns, whether you're driving personalized content and executing conversational commerce, or whether you've got that customer and now you're delivering contextual support through conversational care. It impacts you across every step of the journey. So having personalization, being able to reach the customer at the right time, on the right channel, with the right message is imperative. And I'll now pass on to James, who's going to talk us through some real life examples how Treasure Data help some of their customers leverage personalization through their customer journey. Over to you, James.
Okay, thanks, Sonny. Yeah, so really the foundation of good personalization is data. So you need to understand how your customer is interacting with you as a business across multiple touch points. As Sonny mentioned, the average customer uses about 9 different channels while interacting with your business. And you need to be able to understand what's going on across each of those to get a really holistic view of the customer, what they're interested in, what they're browsing, what they need help with, and so forth. And that's really where Treasure Data has a lot of experience as a customer data platform, where we specialize in really interconnecting these different experiences, these different data sources, and then providing models and insights on top of that. Next slide. So our customers are highly interested in personalization. We hear this quite frequently, that we hear from marketers that they want to be able to reach customers on the customer's terms with the offers, channels, messages, as well as the timing that appeal to them most. We hear from customer service departments, from agents, that they don't have access to data in real time, and that really impacts them. They either can't respond to the customer at all, or they have the customer wait for minutes. We hear from marketers, sales departments, customer service, others, that they gather a lot of data on their customers, but they struggle to realize the value from that data and provide the customers a frictionless experience to be able to understand what the customer really wants when they want it. We also hear from multiple departments that customers engage in multiple channels with us, but they don't have the data, the holistic view on the customer that's integrated across channels, so which makes personalization really, really difficult. So giving a few examples here of how we've worked with different companies to help with personalization, to help them really realize the value from the conversational commerce and the personalization. one example is Lotte Rental. So Lotte is a major conglomerate out of Korea, one of these trillion-dollar companies, and they have a car rental business. And they had a challenge before where they had customer data siloed. They didn't really know what the customer is doing on the website when the customer would call into an agent about a car rental. And it really led to a kind of a not a personalized experience and kind of a jolting experience and the not ideal experience for the customer. But Lotte decided to use a CDP, a customer data platform, to unify their data on the customers across all these different touch points, web, service, and so forth, so that they can gain transparency across the organization. And they also built models on top of that unified data so they can understand what a particular customer's prospects, what their price point was, what the price sensitivity was around a particular car rental. So they could use that, they could look at their browsing history, their interest, price sensitivity, and then empower the agents to provide really customized, personalized customer service, which led to higher customer satisfaction, increased sales, and more conversions. Another example, this is an auto company, which probably you all know is Subaru. Subaru, their marketers were working with very siloed data across multiple systems. So they had limited insights on customer interests, which impacted advertising efficiency. They might be spending a lot of money advertising to a customer who show that they weren't that interested in a car, or maybe even purchased a car already. And so their solution was to really integrate that data and apply AI-driven insights on top of that to make predictions about the likelihood, the propensity of a consumer to purchase a car. So they could tell who the really high-value likely customers were, as well as the ones that were much less likely to purchase a car. And with that, they could target the customers with the right content at the right time based on that unified data, based on those insights. So that led to really highly personalized targeted marketing campaigns, highly efficient campaigns, and 13-point improvement in conversion rates from 18 to 31%, 38% decrease in cost reduction around advertising and inefficient ads and so forth. For the next example, so moving beyond auto to consumer goods to Kirin here. Kirin is a major beverage manufacturer. As you know, you probably know them for their beer. They had their data siloed across over 40 brands and 100 different products globally. And so because of that, they weren't able to tell how their customers were interacting with them. If they were looking from one beer to a different beverage and so forth, they wouldn't know that. If a customer went on a tour and showed which would show very high interest in the product, they wouldn't know that. And so this, in addition, this lack of centralized data led to data security and compliance issues as well. So what they did here, Kirin, is they were able to access and unify all that data, and so that they could see those, and they were able to run analyses on that, so they could see what brands, what products a customer was particularly interested in. They could see that across the website, as well as factory tours, membership, and external media, just to get that really holistic view. And that really helped Kirin in a number of ways. So one way it helped was they had a 10% increase in purchase from the new product tour insights. So when someone went on a tour, they would know, and that led to much better conversions, much better purchase activity. Kirin was able to really scale the solution as well. So they were able to look at the data on the 4 million unique customer profiles and personalize across that, personalize really at scale. And they were able to rationalize across over 100 brands so that they could see customer interest not just in one particular beer, but across beverages. So that led to much better results. And I think that's it. So Sunny, over to you on this one.
Thank you, James, and some great examples there of how personalization and treasure data have helped some businesses. I think what is clear to see that conversational customer engagement can support multiple different types of business units. And in a report we did in conjunction with IDC, which is the Digital Customer Experience report, we found that actually, if you look across the board, there are significant percentages of businesses looking to leverage conversational customer engagement to drive their business units forward. So in customer service, it's 2%, sales 53%, marketing 46%, and operations 41%. I think you can all agree that that's a significant chunk of people within those business units really looking to leverage conversational customer engagement. Now, within that report also, we looked at what businesses feel the top 3 business impacts can be from implementing conversational customer engagement. And the first one was improved customer satisfaction. By having the ability to drive a conversational experience with personalization, you can improve customer satisfaction. Second was an increase in sales. And third was an increased number of positive interactions. So actually being able to drive more interactions to up with one of the first 2 points, so either improve customer satisfaction or increase sales. So I think those are some really significant business impacts that can be found by leveraging conversational elements to your communication strategy. What I'd also like to talk through here is some of the case studies that we have. So Nissan, obviously, I'm sure everybody knows Nissan. They were looking to increase conversion. So they had a challenge of re-engaging and converting end of funnel prospects. So people they'd reached out to and had expressed some form of interest, but they sort of lost touch with them and weren't sure where they were going. So what they did was work with us on delivering a hyper-customized, rich SMS campaign, which integrates different customer data sources. So Nissan looked at their engagements with their customers and really tried to understand what those potential prospects were looking for. And they received a personalized offer based on that data. And the results are quite significant, an 11% increase in the conversion rate of end of funnel prospects and a ×2 increase on their estimated ROI. So I think that those are some great results and a great way to leverage personalization and rich messaging to really drive conversions across end of funnel prospects. Our next example is Belfius, who are an insurance company, and they were looking to increase digital sales. So what they found was actually it was really time consuming and difficult to administer insurance claims. So what they did was look to automate some of that administration. So what we did was help them process home insurance claims with their automated assistant, so MyBo. And Belfius clients are now guided step by step in a conversational manner to submit and provide all of the information required for an insurance claim. The results are significant. There were 2,000 claims automated per month, which would have been the equivalent of 5 full-time employees doing the same task. And there was an 87% increase in conversions compared to traditional claim forms. So they were able to get the right information first time round without having to go back and forth. So customers got a much better experience by getting their claims handled quicker and more efficiently and effectively. And the business was able to reduce wasted time on having to go back and find more information. So some great results there, both for Belfius customers and for Belfius themselves. And then the final example here is of a large US telecom provider who was looking to reduce churn. Now, what they did to try and implement that was replace their static text messages with personalized videos. And those personalized videos were really targeted to the customer's requirements and what they needed and also some of their concerns. What actually happened was a 20% reduction in churn in year 1. So just by shifting from standard text messages, notifying customers of end of contracts and changes in their agreements, by shifting that to a personalized video, they were able to reduce that churn by 20%. Furthermore, they added conversational elements into that same campaign, and they again reduced churn by another 5%. So 25% reduction in churn of customers is phenomenal. They then have leveraged this in net new conversions and have increased conversion rates by 20%. So leveraging personalization and rich media, they've seen a significant drop in churn and a very, very strong improvement in conversion. So some great results there for that large US telecoms provider.
Great examples from Sunny and James. Hope that research and success story they shared are inspiring, and actually now you should be wondering how to start having conversations with customers through the whole digital journey. We know that it's not the easiest thing in the world, of course, but with the right consultancy and with the right technology, it actually is. It's just the question of putting the right solution in place. We shared a lot of information, and again, we can confirm there is a lot of great work behind these success stories, both from the customer side and from Sinch Treasure Data side. For example, when you just look at the number of channels out there that customers are using today to communicate either with businesses or with each other personally, there is 1 billion users on the Meta-owned channels such as WhatsApp, Messenger, and Instagram. There are billions of users on Asia-specific messaging applications like WeChat and KakaoTalk. There's 1 billion of users in Eastern Europe and Asia on Viber, and iPhones and Androids each have their own new type of messaging natively integrated into phones that can be used by businesses to reach basically 81% of all devices who have these channels, so RCS and iMessages. So there is a huge potential there. And Sunny already mentioned the research that we did with IDC. What's really great to see from that research, which you will actually all receive in the follow-up email from this webinar, so you can deep dive on more data that we found out by talking to different businesses. But one that I would like to share here is that 27% of companies reported that they are using 3 channels to communicate with their customers, which is great. Remember, customers are omnichannel. They use 9 different channels to reach their goal. It can be purchasing something, subscribing, scheduling a meeting, whatever. So 9 different channels. Not all of them are actually messaging channels, but some of them are. So it's great to see that businesses are already in omnichannel space. And what is even better is that 22% of them are using 3 and more channels. And only 40% of them are using less than 2 channels to communicate with their customers. WhatsApp is the most common channel, most used channel. It's followed by Instagram and Facebook Messenger and MMS. So now that I mentioned these channels, that's basically the introduction into what we will be talking about in the next session. In a week, on June 14, where my colleague Charlotte will actually talk about how to choose the right channel for your business and your use case. So she will give you a complete guide on how to choose the channel and an overview of specifics of each of channels. And the week after that, we will talk about how to choose the right solution to optimize the process of introducing the conversation engagement into your customer communication. So how to choose the right technology stack for mobile marketing, or actually in this case, conversational marketing, for conversational commerce, and for digital customer service. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining. We will send you the recording, and for those who will be lucky winners of Sinch Swag packages, we will contact you directly via email. Have a great rest of the day, and thanks for joining again.